All right, well, we're live right now. Welcome everybody to a FrameCast, which I've properly, thoroughly prepared until I just heard from Drew that I've probably missed the biggest story of the year about EA. Can you give a
I didn't say
quick?
it was the biggest story of the year.
You gotta sauce it up, man. You gotta like spice it up. You know, it's by far the biggest story of the year, brought to you by the best podcast in all of the universe. You do not want to miss this. No clickbait. I don't know.
And then everyone on YouTube just turns off.
Yeah.
It's a
Anyway,
good job.
I see I haven't adjusted your camera yet, but oh well, it's fine, I guess. Or I should probably fix it.
Right.
Actually, why don't you just do it like a quick rundown of the topics and like give us like what the topic is, what like with EA, like just a quick title if you can think of one. Then I'm gonna see if we can fix your camera in the meantime, so that we're like multitasking or something.
So basically, you want me to stall, right? Okay.
Yes.
So this week, we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't follow the $70 price. Doesn't follow the $70 price and reduces microtransactions only to multiplayer. Our next topic is Xbox Series S announced for $299 and $500 for the Xbox Series X. And then what you call? I'm going to call this the titular one. No. Then the next one is 6-month limited time release for the Super Mario 3D All Stars game. All right. This is something that came out late last week. And then there was the whole shit show, which was EA. So, do you know what started airing last Friday?
I have no idea actually. What started?
You're quite pixelated, so I can't genuinely tell if you're pixelated
No.
me.
Okay, so like I don't know. Tell me.
Right. So on Friday, the second season of Amazon's original The Boys, which got started airing. First 3 episodes came out on Friday, the September the 4th. Annoyingly, everyone discovered, oh wait, there's only the first 3 episodes. And yeah, so earlier, sorry, oh god, it was like, I think again, it was like late last week. 2 weeks after the game came out, EA had turned on a system to put in-game ads, to enable in-game ads for, I think it's UFC 4, right? So people were seeing adverts between, around the replay section of the game. So, you know, the match was over or a big hit had happened or whatever. A ad for Amazon's The Boys popped up.
Oh,
the replay
boy.
happened, and then an ad to close it off. And it was just like, what the shit? So loads of people have complained, saying how, hold on, we've had these features, and like, so we've had past features like, you know, just getting completely total knocked out. We've had, you know, doctors come in and say, oh no, you can't continue fighting. You know, like they had loads of features in past games that they have dropped, right, in UFC 4, but you know, they're happy to have all this advertising shit, and EA have had a lot of backlash for it. I'm not entirely sure if they've turned it off, but like, you know, this is just more shit to come. I think there was also 2K did something with one of their games where they put in in-game adverts, and they artificially increased loading times so that the full advert would play.
I'm honestly not very surprised because first of all it's EA, but second of all, I have not played UFC 4 or any UFC game. Then again, I do think it's kind of similar to FIFA or hockey or NBA games where it's like it's sports. And most of the time,
oh, it was an NBA game. That was it. It was a 2K NBA game. It was a 2K20.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, like, how am I not surprised with these titles? Like, seriously. But anyway, it's like most of these games will have simulated ads. Like they've always had these things like on the side of the what is it? I've played FIFA a bit. Like I haven't played in years, but I played it when I was younger, and you'd always have like these ad boards along the field because it's part of soccer, and it would just say like something like PS4 or EA or something. And I think I don't know whether they dabbled with like real life adverts, like fake adverts between things, but they want to make it seem like real, and adverts are like part of it. So I can see how, from a developer's point of view, it's like, hey, we could create a fake advert here, or we could just stick in the real one and get money. And I can see how they go about that way. But seriously, if you buy a game, then you're served ads within that game, which you bought full price, like yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off about that. I'd be like, why the hell did I play this?
It's going to be. Did you ever watch the movie Ready Player One?
No, I haven't. I should actually, because I've heard it was pretty decent actually.
It's
Was
a
it?
really good movie, but it was quite funny because the company that's trying to get a hold of the source code for this VR environment, and they're talking about like how much screen real estate can they throw up adverts on before the players suffer from like epileptic fits and
Mm-hmm.
brain seizures and shit like this. I was like, we have scientifically proven we can cover 80% of the player's viewable area before it leads to like death or something like this. And it was just fucking hilarious.
Oh man, I
So
mean, like
yeah,
I can already see it like that happening in modern entertainment. Not so much with like paid games, but I mean, if you go with on mobile games that are free, like you'll be spammed with ads everywhere. And I can even see it in online video, you'll be just spammed everywhere with ads because like from like a content creator point of view, like YouTube and Twitch and like creation things are not stable economies. Like you're not really sure of your income. So being able to get any money you can get is kind of like nice. So I get that people might start out, especially also with games or with uh, free mobile games or whatever online creation industry they're in, to like see if they can squeeze out as most money as they can in a way so that they can survive. And then at a certain point, it comes to such a big company where it's like, hey, I mean, we can just do it and we'll survive because if people complain, we'll just be like, who cares, man? Because hey, we big. So yeah, it's pretty shitty though. I think I do have an article right here that says that they apologize for it, which is EA apologized for ads appearing in the UFC 4 replays and overlays. Over the weekend, users in forums and Reddit noticed ads. Um, Let's see, there's a The Boys ad. A member from the EA community team responded on Reddit. Earlier this week, the team turned on ad placements, like they have a button for that, in EA Sports UFC 4 that appeared during the replay moments in our gameplay. This type of advertising inventory is not new to the UFC franchise. We've done it before, oh boy. Though we have typically reserved displaying ads to specific main menu titles or the Octagon logo placement, it's abundantly clear from your feedback that integrating ads into the replay and overlay experience is not welcome. These advertisements have been disabled by the team, and we apologize for any disruption to gameplay that players may have experienced. We realize that this should have been communicated with players ahead of time, and that's on us. So it seems like they have reversed it.
yeah. I mean, so it was introduced in UFC 3, but it wasn't until like I think it was months and months after the game's release. This has been 2 weeks, so people like they've read or watched reviews for UFC. No mention of these integrated ads, and people just fucking went for it.
Yeah,
So I
but that's the thing which is very common with games that right now get updated a lot, where the game you buy initially is never really like, well, I wouldn't say never, but often not the same thing as later
true.
on. And it can be for the good, because there have been games like No Man's Sky, like I mean, I think Fallout 76 has also been improved. Like games will be improved over time, but they'll also be made worse over time. And we've seen companies get rid of like Call of Duties, like get rid of microtransactions for reviewer periods and then turn them on like 2 months later. So
Did you also hear about the Sims 4 Star Wars expansion?
no, what is that
Oh
about?
my god, like I need to get you more in the loop, man. Seriously. So a while ago, um EA put up a poll asking people what did they want to see in The Sims, like brought into Sims 4 and things, because it's like a 6-year-old game or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from things like bug fixes and stuff, because the game's still glitchy as fuck, like
Mm-hmm.
most of the Sims games are. They were asking for things that like schools, jobs, transportation, university, stuff that had already existed in past games. And the least voted thing was a Star Wars expansion, but that's what everyone got. So they got a Star Wars expansion, which was clearly it's actually named, I think it's like Journey to Batuu or something like this, which is the new theme park attraction at like Disney World and shit like this. So it's like, yeah, you kind of fucked that one up, didn't you? Good job.
I love it. I absolutely love it when some marketing campaigns go right, like with the Fall Guys thing, which we recently discussed. That's like, I thought it was kind of wholesome. I thought it was kind of fun, but it's even more funny when they go wrong. Like, I like imagine the guy that followed up was like, oh shit, we'll just like run this poll, and like one of the options is going to be like a Star Wars add-on. People are going to freak out about that because people love Star Wars and they love our game, and they're just going to be like, what? No way, that's going to be a meme, and we're just going to all vote on it, and then like we're going to come out of works and say that's real, and that's the least voted option, not even like the second most favorite, or the least favorite option, and they're like, yeah, here it is. The thing you guys want the least. Oh boy,
Yep.
oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, let's get into unless you wanted to add more.
Let's start the episode properly, man.
Yeah,
let's
get to the proper start. We've only been like live for like 10 minutes. We've only been in for 10 minutes, but here we go. Welcome to the start of episode 54. I don't know if I've even said whether we're at 54, but here we go. We are 54. Let's start off with, first of all, what have you played this week, Drew? I'm asking just as you take a sip of your drink. I don't know how I do this, but every single time I ask you whenever you're taking a sip.
Zeno, stall for me. I'm trying to pour a drink here. Okay. So I have played, in all honesty, I've watched a lot of anime and YouTube videos. I managed to play a chunk of Warframe last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been playing Dead Cells again on my Switch. So apart from that, and maybe like the odd round of Fall Guys, I've also been playing a shit ton of Sinnoh Alice on my mobile phone. A shit ton.
Mm-hmm.
And by play, I mean leave it on my desk while it auto plays itself. But oddly enough, I've actually been watching the Avengers game. I've been watching people play the Avengers game, and gonna be honest, I'm not that impressed. The story is quite interesting, but the gameplay looks terrible.
As far as I've heard, it's not a really great game, and like the way that they've handled their live service side of things. But also, I think I saw Rio play like the end of it, and he was also not really impressed. He was like, yeah, it's kind of fine if you like get it for free, kind of thing, or like if you, but like don't buy it now. Like I haven't seen it myself very much. I haven't played it, and then like I don't think I'm gonna buy it. But it's like, not very good stories coming from that. So seeing that's like one of those live service things which they're trying to start up, and seeing how the initial reactions are kind of bad, just like they were with Anthem, hold off on it. If you're interested, hold off though, because fucking hell, like live services that don't start out good can kind of end pretty bad.
I've got to say, it feels like there was too much. Because I've played a lot of Crystal Dynamics games over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've had their hit and miss stuff, but they've done some really solid work over the more recent years. So to see this come out, like, it's the combat. It's just the combat that I really feel holds back the entire gameplay experience. The acting and things is spot on. The plot is fairly solid and original, but the combat is just like, hold on. You've got the Hulk and Black Widow, two exceptionally polar opposite characters. The Hulk should be able to drop kick anything into the sun, whereas the Black Widow should surgically, strategically strike in such a way to, again, instantly kill stuff. But everything has been given such longevity that just to prolong the gameplay experience, I much expected that everything would have been wailed on, much like the the gameplay, gunplay combat in Warframe, but it's just so slow.
Isn't it like you only have a standard attack and like a heavy attack, and they're kind of like the same across all characters? Because I believe I've
Yeah,
heard something like that. That the attacks are
yeah,
kind of generic.
the movement is pretty much the same. The combat is pretty much the same. Like everyone has a heavy attack that busts through doors. Everyone has a what you call the ability to move easily from place to place. Like a lot of the characters, there seems to be a lot of homogenization between the characters.
hmm To be honest, from a kind of outside perspective, because I mean, like I'm not, like I've only enjoyed the Avengers and Marvel stuff as movies, especially during the Marvel Cinematic Universe era. Outside of
Mm,
that, not really much. I have to say that as an outsider looking at, I also don't know much about this game. It's kind of badly timed, and it feels like a bit of like a cash thing, because like honestly, I was super into Marvel and Avengers and stuff around the time that Endgame came out. Like that
mm.
was from then till between Iron Man and Endgame, I was super into the shit. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I've seen it. Like I've seen the story. Like I'm kind of out of it. And I don't hear many people talking about it anymore. Like before, people would always be like, oh man, I can't wait for Endgame to come out. Oh my god, Infinity War. And now just like general people, just like not like enthusiasts, but just general people that used to talk about this shit are kind of like, yeah, no, I don't care anymore. And
But
like,
that's because things like theme parks and the cinemas, they're all shut down and everything.
mm-hmm,
So, the oh god, Black Widow movie was slated to come out in April, sorry, not April, May this year, right?
mm-hmm,
And it's slotted in now for I think the 20th of November. And even that looks like it's going to be like pushed back even further.
yeah.
I think we're supposed to have the Eternals movie either this year or next year. I wouldn't be surprised if everything is pushed back.
I mean, for
And
sure. For,
yeah, anyway.
like, how are they going to be recording movies during these times? So like, they're gonna have to push it back. And actually, I
No,
just
I don't think it's the record. I don't think it's the recording, right? I think there are plenty of things that can be done to keep everyone safe during the recording process. The thing that they can't do is keep everyone safe during the movie going experience because one person turns up to the theater with COVID-19, entire theater gets it,
no,
right? Because
definitely.
it's recycled air.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. Like the theaters are like the main thing, but I can also imagine that production right now will be more costly in order to make it Corona safe. So that it's actually, I mean, it's not in their benefit, but if you can't air movies right now in the cinemas and you push them back, then you also don't have to worry about producing that many movies because didn't they have like an entire fucking timeline of like 5 movies are supposed to come out this year and so many, and then this sequel and that sequel? Like, they didn't they
No,
have
it's
like an
it's
entire
it's
timeline?
always two per year. It's always two per year.
Oh, but then it was like a timeline that goes on forever because I remember seeing this timeline with so many movies on it. I was like, oh my god.
I think phase 4 is supposed to last between 2019 to 2022.
Wow.
I think that is how long. But like phase 1 was 6 movies. Phase 2, I think, was another 6 movies. But like phase 3 was massive. It was
Mm,
monumentally huge.
yeah. Nvidia says when most people picture the Avengers, all they picture is the MCU, not anything else. Using another phase seems off and wrong to them, so it automatically puts them off. Yeah, I mean, like that's I share the same sentiment because I've grown up with like I've only gotten to know them through the movies, but I can very well imagine that like if you grew up with the comics and that is where your love for this franchise came from. It's kind of weird because like yeah the movies are fine, but like let's say that any anime series I'm watching were to be like made into a movie series which was actually good, and then everyone be like, oh yeah, that is the real character, if he looks anything different he's bad. I'm like, no, no, no. But yeah, that's what happens when you like mainstream something like that. Then like people that aren't really into the fandom um don't don't understand it. Also I had a question about Fall Guys. While you've played it, have you had any problems with cheaters?
No, but I have heard that apparently they're supposed to be implementing it. Well, I mean, how would I even know if someone's cheating?
I mean, like, actually, like, because, like, they beat you because you win every single game because you're a god tier Fall Guys player. So if someone beats you, they gotta be cheating.
Clearly.
Clearly. Actually, does that
Clearly.
mean that like no one has been beating you, even if they use cheats?
No, I mean I never win anyway. So
Ooh, ooh, but it's still enjoyable.
yeah,
Sweet.
it's the sort of God PvP game I like because so much of it is out of my control.
Mm-hmm. Actually, like Matt Pat recently made a video where he talked about the things that people like. He did a survey with thousands of people, and it's kind of split in two: people that really like Fall Guys because there are parts which are completely out of your control. So, regardless of your skill level, like you can end up on top or end up on the bottom. And some people
Yeah,
like really hate that, and they really prefer the things where they can be really good. And the game kind of like doesn't cater to any side. So both people can have stages where they can get what they want and not get what they want. So
yeah.
anyway, last weekend I
What have you
finished.
played?
Last weekend I finished Ghost of Tsushima, which is a really nice game. I really enjoyed it. I hope to get a review out of that. Like I'm probably gonna try and make one because it was really good. I did a playthrough of it, like a gameplay series, but that like there was way too many breaks in there that I was like, it's not gonna be worth to continue. But yeah, like that is really good game. Definitely recommend it if you have a PS4. Play it. Other than that, I mean, like we did Warframe on stream, but I have this new thing. I've been playing Warframe for 7 years. I've been partnered for a couple of years. I play like I remember days where I played like 2 times 4 hours. I played 8 hours a day, and now like we've done 2 3-hour Warframe streams, and in these 3 hours I've done like 3 missions.
Wow, what the hell? Okay.
And I like it's not even because I don't want to. We just do it like we just do a mission, and then it's like we go off on a tangent and we start talking for an hour. It's like, oh shit, let's do another mission. I've been trying to get my standing up. I'm not yet to strength 5, and I kind of want to get there because I kind of want to see what's at the end of the standing. How are you? Or you're standing with Andrades?
No, I'm trying to I'm trying to get rank 3. I have all the rep and everything, but I'm trying to get the stupid
Tokens?
dog tag.
Oh,
No,
those dog tags. Oh god.
yeah, so like literally I was flying around. I've caught so many. Is it Paris? No, what's the
The
what is the
flying
name of the
things?
damn creature? No. What's the name of the damn creature? The
The
dog.
yeah.
The best-
Oh god. The medjays.
Yeah, it's the Medjay. Freaking
Something.
someone help! Someone words. Can't remember.
It's the
I
medjay
was
something.
hoping. Yeah, I swear it's something like Parasite.
Yeah.
No one's coming to my aid. Why is no one
I
coming to
mean,
my
like
aid?
you got the worst person for names right here because I remember no names in Warframe. I literally just call it
I
whatever
remember
it is.
Viper. No shit, I can't remember that either. Never mind.
The
Oh well.
the Aphie
So yeah,
something.
I'm trying to catch the dog, and I flew around for 40 minutes on the drift, the Cambrian drift, and could not find a single bloody one, but found the caustic bug thing quite easily, and yeah, so game fucking hates me.
Isn't that dog where you need to use special bait for?
I have no idea.
I think
I
you
was
need to
told
use
that it
special
could
bait
just
for
spawn.
that dog. Like
I was told that it could just spawn.
one of these two you need to use bait for. I had Serenus help me out this week, and he was like, "Yeah, you need bait for them," but I don't remember whether that was the bird or the dog.
Oh.
Anyway, speaking of Warframe, we did get some comments from last week. Welcome to our segment, comment community comeback. I don't know, YouTube comments. Last week we had 2 comments talking as we talked about Warframe. The first one is from Nick Evans, who doesn't really agree with you, So let's get into it. So, on the discussion of what is the heart, last time we talked about the Heart of Deimos and kind of like the story and the plot around it, and we were kind of like, the Heart of Deimos, like, does that even make sense? Like, this heart that pumps in power from the void to this thing doesn't just feel like tagged in because like we already have power and like the power comes from ourselves, kind of thing. Nick Evans says, okay, on the discussion of the what is the heart and why Xeno thinks it's a plot hole, I don't really think so that's a plot hole. Xeno hit the nail on the head. about like the heart, though he didn't really mean it as he said it when he said that we are a battery. We, the Tenno, are a battery for void energy in the literal sense. We hold the charge as long as we're able to be charged, but we're not generators of void energy, and we will not run out of it and we will run out of it if our connection to the void is severed. I'm absolutely certain that without the heart, we would not be able to access void energy because there would be no theoretical gateway between the real world and the void. I believe that Mother's father was the original explorer of the void, as he created the heart in order to permanently bridge the two and allow everyone access to the void from the real world and come back again. Without the heart in motion, the Tenno would refer to being ordinary children again after they use up their power. The very concept that we're able to be isolated on Lua, that Lua was able to be put in the void, and that we could control our warframes there from there is because the heart is active. I'll go even further to point out Xeno's little logical flaw in his own theory. The way we could control our Warframe's Fire Touch is specifically due to the suppression of our powers that we undo in the War Within. We literally relearn innate transference during the quest, and Teshin tells us outright that we had our power suppressed in order to go into the second dream. We still have our connection to the void. We still hold the charge, but we can't do it remotely at that time. We didn't even know what we were doing. That we were doing it remotely right up to that point. To be fair, and until the War Within, we do it from the chair in the orbiter. So the Tenno being able to use void energy is not an indicator that the heart is a plot hole. The heart is literally that much more fundamentally important than Xeno is giving it credit for. So
Actually, I don't say the heart was a plot hole. The heart's a MacGuffin, right? Yes, thank you, sentient infamy. It's a predacite. That was the damn thing. Anyway, I don't think it's a plot hole. It's just a MacGuffin, and it's to me it doesn't make sense, because if you were to say, oh well, because if we are a battery, if when the heart was quote unquote broken, why did our Warframe fall over? It doesn't make sense.
Actually, yeah. Actually, our Warframe functioned better when the heart stopped working than it did when the Void Reservoir thing happened. So, like,
yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We
right?
could still run, we could still jump, we could still slide it. Like, we could not slide about, we could do so much more.
No, we couldn't double jump, we couldn't bullet jump, we couldn't slide.
Yeah, but you could still run. You could jump, whereas
still move.
Yeah, whereas with the second dream, you could only like limp towards your Warframe, then like hobble about as you're like that, which wasn't like this was far more favorable.
These are events that are supposed to happen before the second dream.
See,
right?
Yeah, actually that is true. Oh my god, that is so weird, because I see this all as like happening post second dream. But yeah, actually, like,
it's
because
not, pre.
Oh my god, it's so weird. I wait, like,
yeah.
I really wish that like, from a personal point of view, and I don't know, like, fuck it, but my personal point of view is like, I wish that Warframe would just start adding new content behind the old content that they've made, because then you wouldn't have to be like, oh shit, like, remember this story which we've had? Oh, this happened in between as well, you know? Because like that's just kind of weird.
Also, like the transference thing, like how the first time we learn about how to do like possession of transference was during the War Within, when we take control of a golden maw. Yet we seem to be able to do that with the snake necromech, and like as far as I can tell, we can't get out of our Warframe, but we're able to just press use and just pick up the necromech.
That is so weird. Actually, now you mention,
I honestly, I feel that you shouldn't be able to get to Deimos until after you've done the War Within, or after the sacrifice.
I agree.
But it's you know, I feel like some of the plot is really shoehorned in. And I still argue, like, it doesn't make sense that you have a pump, a literal pump, transferring energy and matter or whatever between the two. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure the pump is used to transfer void energy into our universe. I don't think it's there to keep the door open, because have you listened to Lloyd's lore MacGuffins around the edge of the big thingy? I can't remember what it's called.
Where did that happen? I don't think I have.
Right.
It
So
doesn't ring true.
people have like shared it. People have shared it online and things.
Mm-hmm.
And the grandfather didn't have the heart there before going into the void. So being able to go into the void was perfectly fine. But the whole point of the heart is to pump the void energy out. But again, it just doesn't make sense. It's like saying, oh yeah, right, the force only works because of this machine. Right?
Actually,
Wait,
yeah,
what?
dude.
It
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh my god! Like, imagine if, like, let's just take the original trilogy, okay, of Star Wars. Imagine if, like, after, like, you have the fourth movie for you, then you have the Empire Strikes Back. Imagine that, like, instead of going on to Return of the Jedi, they would make movie 4.5 and then be like, okay, Luke, so here's the thing: the void energy is actually comes from this diesel generator, and we're running out of diesel. So fix it before you move
Well,
on to the next movie. But we already know that, like, the next movie has happened, and you were able to use the force there. So it's not really, there's no stakes, but, like, fix this, please, because
this is literally the point. Plot. Sorry, this is literally the plot of Star Wars The Last Jedi and Star Wars the Solo movie, right? So The Last Jedi, you've seen The Last Jedi, yes?
No, I haven't. No,
Apologies.
I saw.
You keep telling me this. I keep forgetting.
No,
right?
I saw episode 7, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not even gonna dive into this."
Yeah. So the whole premise is that with The Last Jedi, the Resistance has run out of starship fuel. Right? This has not been a plot element for the last 7 movies, but now all of a sudden it is. Right? The whole premise of the Solo movie is Han Solo is a smuggler. He doesn't smuggle drugs. He doesn't smuggle alcohol. He smuggles starship fuel. Right? Again, when has this ever been a plot point? This has never been a plot point before. It feels it's a MacGuffin that is shoehorned in. Oh, starship fuel's really important,
dude.
And that's the problem I have with the heart. It's really important, but you've not had to deal with, like, I mean, think of it again as a new player perspective. They encounter the heart. The heart brings void energy into our universe and things, and then the rest of the game, the heart has no prevalence whatsoever.
No,
right?
Yeah.
The limbo theorem, nope, nothing. Hidden messages, nope, nothing. The whole thing with Iron Wake and Chains of Harrow, nope, nothing. Like, fucking Chains of Harrow won't mention the heart. Second Dream,
like
War Within,
the second
Sacrifice, none of it mentions it.
The Sacrifice is the worst offender because you have Hun Hao, who, like, meticulously planned out, like, he wanted this one chance to destroy the Tenno, and he was like, oh, the only chance that I have is to go into the void, but I cannot go into the void. If only there was, like, a moon on Deimos right next to Mars where I can go to, where I can just, like, blow this thing up and it will do the same thing. Oh, if only there was this thing. Oh shit, there is. But yeah, it's like, I mean, honestly, like, with the starship fuel, the one thing that actually came up in my mind, which could be very realistic, now that Tencent is in the game, like, if if they really wanted to, like, monetize Warframe heavily, then the next planes would just be like an open world where we discover the planes of Defriri. The planes of Defriri are actually the farms of Defriri, where they farm the food that Tenno run on. And oh my god, the sentients have taken it over. Now you gotta go farm food and feed your Warframe every couple of days. And if you don't do that, then your Warframe will function less. But for, like, 10 platinum, you can bring up the food supply because you can buy that from Baby Bar or something. Like, oh yeah, they need food now because reasons. But no, like, it's a bit preposterous. Like, one thing which I think, like, it takes meaning away for me. Deimos was really nice, especially controlling the Necromech was really nice because it felt like after the worm in War Within, I was so keen to, like, start controlling other things. I was like, can I control enemies now? Can I, like, take them over and possess them and walk around as them? That would be so cool. But we couldn't. And then the first time we could control someone, I was like, yes, here it is. Here we go. but like now people get that before that, and that's like that doesn't hold any value at that point. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. I always thought it was like Nintendo controlling it. But another point,
I,
go ahead.
I have a thought. Where's the Lotus in this? She
She's
never makes any appearance
no,
during Deimos, does she?
no, they have
Right?
removed her from all new content, basically.
Which is really weird because the new war happens after the sacrifice.
Yeah, I think that what
So where's the Lotus during the entirety of Deimos?
I think that what they want to do is I mean they're probably gonna do something with the Lotus, which are either gonna be kill off or like move away because like every new piece of content. I mean the what was it, the Protea update was also just voiced by Biz and
But the Protea update, it's Deadlock,
mhm.
is post new war stuff,
Yeah, but
right?
Fortuna
Because it has. Go on.
Fortuna also did not have the Lotus. That's also entirely voiced by the like you see with the past few years, the updates, they've really removed the Lotus lines except for the like main Lotus story content. They're removing it entirely. They're replacing it with other characters, which I can understand because if you want to make the Lotus such an important character in like the story, then you gotta you gotta introduce other characters to do talking, because if she's always your guide, then nothing's gonna happen to her because who the hell is gonna guide us otherwise? And like so.
We were talking about the Marvel movies earlier. Like, could you just imagine if they did the first movies for all the other characters, right? So for all the characters, they had the first Iron Man movie, the first Captain America, the first Thor, and then they did the first Avengers movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that, they did the second Avengers movie with Age of Ultron, and then they did Infinity War, right? And then they do Thor 2, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America Civil War, Captain America Winter Soldier, and then Captain America Civil War, and they do Doctor Strange, and then they do what's it called, like, and then after like another 10 movies, they finally get to Endgame. It's just like, can we just please have a fucking resolution?
That is literally what Warframe is doing, and like it would be even more accurate that while they're like releasing these movies, they'd be coming around saying like, oh yeah, you remember Endgame? Like actually, it's out already. Like we've already released it in parts. You've seen part of it. Like there's still a part coming, but it's already out. It's like, what? What are you talking about? What?
Right. Should we move forward to the next?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. We have one more comment right here. By Majoga, who says, on the topic of future open worlds, which we already know will be like the farming planet, where you're going to have to farm the food. But
Cool.
We have Grineer, we have Corpus, and now we have Infested. With the Fury, it would likely be more the Orokin or the Void, but that's too hard to predict at this moment. Beyond that, I really want to see an open world brought to Uranus as Sharkwing, like Sino says, but I think it, as well as Arkwing, needs a really good overhaul. Could even have a segment that adapts Sharkwing's slowness to act more like Arkwing when submerged, and also to introduce the Arkwing module rework that they wanted to do. So basically, like, this new open world would be a great moment to like rework Arkwing and rework Sharkwing into something that people like. Enemy faction could be the Sentients, but I don't see us joining a sentient rebel group. I think they should take the friendly faction in a new direction and have two different. Oh, that's an interesting one. I think they should take the friendly faction in a new direction and have two different hubs of opposites on the map, like one Grineer and one Corpus. Basically, because it's like a sentient map, and like the sentients are hostile to both the Grineer and the Corpus. Like you could be in both, and that could be two hubs. That's an interesting one. It could work similar to invasions type, to an invasion type, where their syndicate increases one for one faction, but decreases on the other, and it could both fight in the open world. But with a main thread, they would work against the sentients together. The biggest issue right now is to make Arkwing fun and to appeal to the big audience that right now hate it. As for the day-night cycles, it actually wouldn't be that hard to explain. When doing submerged maps and underwater, the Grineer have artificial lights to illuminate those small areas. In an open world, it would be similar to night cycles to have these areas lit similarly, and even the Corpus lighting just depending on part of the map. But definitely does need dark spots. Day cycle, however, Uranus can just naturally does experience aurora, so during this time it would generate enough illumination to light the map up. I like the idea of having two hubs of like two warring factions that you can like join in on the one or join in on the other, and that will like affect things on the
I
map.
I say, my suggestion:
Mm-hmm.
Hub 1 should be Steel Meridian and Red Veil, and Hub 2 should be Parian Sequence and Loka.
That's a good
Like,
idea.
I that's the thing that's pissed me off the most with most of the recent stuff, is that lore elements, plot elements aren't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, what about Coruscant? What about Tatooine? What about, no, we have to have our own unique worlds that are exactly the same. Like, that doesn't make sense, but okay. It just feels that it would make the world feel more rounded, make the world, like the universe, feel more complete if there are stuff, like, it doesn't have to be, I think her name is Tressa. No, wait, was it Cressatal? Cressatal.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be Cressatal on this thing. It could be like, Cressatal's boss. Tressa Dahl.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just be nice to have expansion to these different factions and things like that, which just currently just doesn't exist. Things get left by the wayside. It's always a new experience.
Yeah, and I really like the camera thing that you brought up last time. Like you feel like you're a camera that just comes around and things happen because you're there.
Yeah,
and it doesn't feel
yeah.
like a world. I think that one thing which really stands out also with the heart right now. I think it's sad that it comes after, like, no, before the second dream, because you don't know the weight of it yet. Like, if they wanted to make a real big plot device, which, I mean, it could, as Nick explained earlier. Like, it would be great if you could understand the magnitude of it if it was just right before, like, the Sentient War, and if you would also expand on like, things happen without you being there. So one thing which is very good about, like, I'm bringing up an anime right here, but one thing which is really good about, like, one of my favorite animes, One Piece, is that they really bring out the world in over like the really long runtime that it has. But like the focus is like things happen without the main characters being there, and because things happen without the main characters being them, you become interested in what happens in the world. And then like at their first big climax, which is a bunch of chapters in, basically you're following for a really long time. You're following none of the main characters, but it's still interesting because you know that it is an alive world. Can you imagine a quest in Warframe which isn't about you as a Tenno, which is just like you play like kind of a minor role in it, but like the main role is on like someone else? No, like you couldn't, because this world doesn't revolve around, like, this isn't a live world. It revolves solely around you.
We do have some of that, like in the earlier quests with, like, to some extent, Limbo's theorem. Everything
Mhm.
that happened to Limbo has been long gone and done, right?
Mhm.
A more recent one was with the Nidus quest, which was Glass Gambit. The whole reason you got involved is because Ergo Glass reached out to you to help him get back Niwa,
Mhm.
who was needed for the survival of the Mycoans.
Mhm.
Right? So Nefanyo had captured Niwa, blah 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 blah. That is a prime example of the world is moving without you.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, now that you say that, that was a really good quest for one mission, and then they just did index the entire time, which kind of sucked. But like that, like, yes, like I
Yeah.
remember that being a time where it's like, shit, there's like world things going on. Like you were walking around in like this camp that was being overrun by infested, and you saw like the NPCs like interact, like, oh shit, there's something. They were like fighting, and they were like looking at you, like, oh shit, you're here. I like that one. That's a really, like, I wish I did more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
let's see.
Yeah, sure.
The video says Deimos takes place after the deadlock, because we first learned of the Entradi from the founder who mentioned them. The Lotus is basically being duct taped from her to her deadish mom, which is a big space vacuum that's eating up a nebula. So maybe it does.
How do you know that?
I don't know how they know that, but like the thing that the founder mentioned, I mean, like, it's so weird. It's so weird when like a quest comes out after another quest, but it doesn't happen after it. It happens like way before it, or not. Like they don't even mention it. It's not like previously or this happened. This happens now in the timeline. You just have to kind of figure it out. At less like, oh, this is on Mars, so probably, I guess. Furthermore, in the video says, please God, not no other open world. The first two were already left behind to gather dust. Deimos will probably follow suit. A fourth one will just end up the same, eventually forgotten and pushed to another corner to gather dust.
I can get the concern, but if you were to be one of the individuals to speak up and say, hey, please give us more open world stuff, sorry, go back to the old stuff. Like, the reason why I think Plains of Eidolon was abandoned was because literally everything was on the Plains of Eidolon. We had like a good 6 month, if not longer, stint of nothing but the plains, right? Everything was being added to the plains, nothing else. And I feel that now is the time to bring a variation of the Ropa-Dopa list to the plains, right? I feel this is the time to have us go explore an island adjacent from plane, or maybe go up to the Unum, right? I feel that this is the time to see the third Orb Mother,
Definitely.
But again, I think a large part of the problem is that yourself, myself, NVIDIA, everyone here, I feel we are pretty much well versed and experienced with Warframe. Like, we have thousands of hours each, right? And the newer player experiences what is driving the attention of digital extremes. Like, if I go, sorry, I'm just going to slightly derail. You may want to do this yourself. Look up the Steam charts for Warframe, because I'm very interested to know what the current figures are looking like since, what is it, 2 weeks since the release of Deimos?
Let's see. There was a big peak at TennoCon, and then there was a peak. It crossed the 100K, which is good, and it's been tapering off ever since.
So,
but like, if you compare that to when what is it, when Railjack came out, like, at least it had a peak this time. If we go and look at old time, let's see.
Well, this has got a general slope trailing back off.
Yeah, so
right.
So let's see. We had 121,000 peak in October with Plains of Eidolon, 129,000 with Fortuna. Then November. Oh, wait, no, that was Sacrifice. Sacrifice was 129,000. Fortuna was 130,000, and now we had a peak. Let's see, that was TennoCon, I think. TennoCon, I believe, was a peak of 150,000. They really broke records with that one. And this was 122,000. So it was kind of like Plains of Eidolon style. It didn't break records. TennoCon did. But at least it was something.
The big thing is people are coming to the game because of this. Whereas, what's the name of it? Railjack didn't get a blip at all. Like, Railjack was just that was the thing. So I personally feel that the whole reason why we're constantly getting open worlds is because it draws the attention.
I actually think that it's more because the first open world was a new thing. Was like, we've never done something like this before, so let's go for it. The second one was let's refine it. And this is literally playing it safe, I feel, because Railjack was a bit of a gamble, and then, like, I don't know what happened that made it turn out like it turned out, but I was not surprised that it got the numbers that it did, and I don't think it was, like, completely undeserved the way that it was brought out and all that stuff. So I think that this is a really safe bet, which makes a lot of sense, because they're like, well, this is just something that we can release, which we've done before. I mean, third time's the charm kind of thing.
But you know that this was already announced on Liao Yu's what's it called, the annual report.
They already put it in that, like, Heart of Deimos was coming out.
Yeah, no, they didn't name what it was, but they did name an open world was coming out.
Okay.
Right, and that's why a lot of the content creators were able to speculate quite easily that it was going to be an infested open world, because they said, oh yeah, you're going to get an open world this year.
I mean, like one thing which I can also very well imagine is when Warframe was a brand new company, it's like you all the possibilities are open, and you just kind of like jump through hoops and see what sticks. But they're like 7 years in, so at a certain point, like, the company gets a certain size, you get a certain amount of people, and I think
You
like
got to make sure the money comes in.
yeah, and I'm not saying that like Warframe is dying, but like it's not hyping anymore. Like what we had with Planes of Eidolon, like back then, I think Planes was the time where before barely anyone knew about Warframe. Maybe Second Dream brought a bunch of people in. I think Second Dream was a big important moment, and then Planes of Eidolon was a really big important moment for like mainstream media to like pick up on Warframe. And I think that right now, most people that would be interested in the game know about it, and like they either play it or they don't. So like right now, like these new updates will bring new people in, but it's no longer the boom like that which like a brand new thing has if it succeeds. So right now they need to play it safe in a way. They need to make sure that they bring out things that work, and maybe they'll experiment some things. I mean, they did experiment recently with like Railjack, and that kind of failed hard. So like I can imagine them just being like, well, every year an open world works, and then like a quest thing in between is works. And I mean, yeah, if that's what they want to do, I'm not gonna blame them for it. So yeah.
Cool. Right. Should we move on to the topics now?
Yeah, let's get into the topics. Thank you guys for those comments. They were pretty great. So, first topic of today is I think Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't follow the $70 price tag that new generation games are following, and reduces microtransactions to only multiplayer, or has said that microtransactions will only be part of multiplayer. So, during an investor meeting, CEO and President Adam Kuczynski, I think his name is, of CD Projekt Red stated that Cyberpunk won't be aggressive with microtransactions. It's quite funny that if you compare that to other investor meetings where they're like, oh, push, drain the customer. Here they're asking like, what are you going to do with microtransactions? They're like, we're not going to be aggressive with it. He says that they want gamers to be happy while spending their money in the game. They also recently stated on Twitter that Cyberpunk multiplayer is online, which will be a part that comes in later to the game. Will have some microtransactions, but like they said a year ago, they will you can expect them to treat your money with respect. So the multiplayer part is expected to launch later than the single player game will be a separate part. The game is he also said still set to launch at November 19th. And yeah, he confirmed that the game is preparing for final certification, so they're pretty close. Of course, he said, we will work on the title till the very end, but that's kind of normal. It's a huge game, but as we said, everything's on track, and we're planning to launch it on November 19th. Furthermore, he also said that they were not planning to do a last minute change to the cost of the game. Of course, they already announced, the game is you can pre-order it and you can buy it afterwards for $59.99, and they're not going to change it to $69.99 as some modern titles like Call of Duty and such are doing. So honestly, this came up. It's not a big piece of news, but I just like to hear that they're on schedule for November 19th. And I like to hear that they're not trying to scrape every piece of money from the barrel that they can get for a game that I'm actually pretty stoked about.
I have a lot of respect for CD Projekt Red. Was it you that got surprised that they owned Good Old Games?
Might be.
I spoke to someone recently, I can't remember who it was, and they thought oh well, they're just going to be at the beck and call of their own sort of their publisher for CD Projekt Red. And I was like, no, they are their own publisher because they own Good Old Games. They effectively, they're paying for their games. That's how we got Witcher 3 and things, but I can't remember who that was. But I have a lot of respect for companies like this. A lot of developers that develop the game that they want to. I wish that a lot of other companies were tied to publishers. I wish Blizzard never got into bed with Activision, because we're already getting an Overwatch 2, which is a bloody joke and a half.
Actually, when is that coming out? Because I
fuck knows, fuck cares.
It's been announced a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely couldn't give a toss.
I mean, I've not replayed any Overwatch ever, so I don't really care either. But yeah. Anyway.
But, what?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that it's great that CD Projekt Red are really trying to bring its attention to the likes of Twitter, to social media and things like that, to say look, we are doing this, other companies should also do this. Because I mean, what was it? We're looking at oh god, some of the EA games
Call of
which were
Duty.
like, no, that's Activision.
Yeah, but Call of Duty as well.
EA.
I
Okay,
thought you
fine.
were.
But sorry, I was going to talk about the EA games that were like $100 for the upcoming consoles, and then again, yeah, sure, Activision fucking about with the whole console transitioning thing. You know, the 2K games with their unskippable adverts in NBA 2K20, so on and so forth. It's mental. It is just, what are people even thinking about?
They're just doing what they like to do, and it's probably earning money. But yeah, that was just a quick topic. I mean, we've also done a lot of like on the common stuff, so like it's just a fun mention. I can't wait. I mean, November 19th is like far away, but then again, also not that very far away. It's like 2 months away. So hey,
What
time.
what day is the 19th?
I don't know actually, but
It's Thursday. Do I take the Friday off?
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Decisions being made. Decisions being made here.
Yeah.
All right, so next topic. The Xbox Series S and got announced for $299, which is a new gen Xbox Series, and we got an Xbox Series X price tag as well for $500. I wrote this topic up when yesterday. Microsoft was forced to announce the Xbox Series S, which was like we talked about this before, that there's like a lower tier Xbox, which was going to be cheaper, which people had rumored about, but then people just like straight up leaked it. They straight up leaked pictures of it and videos of it. So like Microsoft had to come out and tweet like, oh yeah, I mean, let's make it official now. Let's post a Twitter tweet about it and let's announce it. But now, like just a couple of hours ago, like I also saw the information about the Xbox Series X. So Microsoft has unveiled the pricing and release dates for the Xbox Series X and S. Still the worst possible names it could have gone with, but whatever. The upcoming Xbox generation will be out on November 10th, 2020, so 9 days before you can grab Cyberpunk 2077 with the mentioned prices. So $500 for the main thing and $299 for the like light version. Microsoft has already had announced the Xbox Series S on Twitter, as I said. This Xbox version of the new Xbox Fart, as we've been calling it here on the FrameCast, had already been leaked, but now we also know its form factor and its price. So it's smaller. It's a lot smaller than. Let's see if we can open this. It's a lot smaller than the actual Xbox. It's actually like a really tiny thing as far as I'm able to see. It's purely digital and will not do 4K. Let me see if I can bring this video up here. So like as you can see right here, compared to, I don't know if I can pause this thing. Compared to like the Xbox X, like they also have like a controller right here. It's actually like it's quite small, and I can see this, especially if you're not really into digital games. It's kind of like a mini like TV box sort of thing. I don't think it's even like it might even be as big as the Wii if I look at that. So it's pretty slick for $299, I think. And if you're not interested in like 4K or super high end stuff, bada bing bada boom, that will be your thing. Maybe. Who knows if you're interested in an Xbox. But yeah, anyway, let's see. They're also going to be introducing Xbox All Access, which is a $25 a month plan for 2 years, from which you get a Xbox Series S.
It's 35.
It's 25 for the S and 35 for the X.
Oh, apologies.
So,
I missed. I was reading the wrong part.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have Xbox All Access, which is a plan for 2 years, where for $25 a month you can pick up an Xbox Series S and get Game Pass Ultimate, and then for 2 years you pay like $25 a month, and then you get to keep the console. So basically, if you can't spend the money now, you can pay over time. However, that will double the price in the end, because over 2 years you pay $600, whereas if you buy it right now, you have to pay $300. And for the Xbox Series X, the same thing is, but then you pay $35 a month. And then the Ultimate Game Pass will also be expanded with EA Play. That's kind of like a side thing. So, what do you think about the pricing? But the Xboxes, I mean, I know you're not the biggest console person, but any thoughts?
They have really come up with the worst names ever.
Definitely.
Right? So, I'm just going to point this out for everyone. I hope this doesn't demonetize you, but it could.
Don't worry about it. I don't have monetization on anyway. Like, I don't have anything on YouTube. So.
Right. So, we've got the Xbox SX and the Xbox SS.
Yeah. Great names, man.
I really don't think they thought that through. Much like the Xbone. They
They probably named that after the Chevy Impala SS, which was actually like a car that I mean, like there's many American companies that also like bring out SS things, which here in Europe is a bit weird because you don't want to be part of something that's called SS and you don't want to link yourself to it, because that was kind
yeah.
of like a bad thing. But like actually, like I was watching a Doug Demura video like just before this podcast, and he was like showing off this Impala SS car, which had like SS like embroidered in like the headrest because it was like that was the sports series. It's like, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't want to do
No.
that. No, but like what
All right. So the problem I have is that a lot of these consoles are getting to the point where it's just like, just buy a fucking PC. It's just like, what the shit even? There's actually been rumor to not to completely segue off the topic. There's actually been rumor of a new Nintendo Switch console
Ooh.
because apparently Nintendo have been turning around and saying develop 4K games. So they might do like a Switch Pro or something like that, which I think has been like 2 years in the making or something like that. Actually, it's probably longer than that because I think I bought my
4K.
Switch. Yeah, I think I bought my Switch a year after it released.
Wow.
Anyway, I couldn't give a shit about the size or the visual appearance of this thing. It looks like a record player. I know. I think I've seen like a minion skin for the SS, and it's Again, I actually kind of like the idea though that they aren't catering. The SS is not for 4K, right? And I think that it's good that they do this because a lot of people won't necessarily have a 4K TV. I mean, I certainly don't.
No.
I don't actually know anyone that does.
No, I mean, like I've had when I bought my PC in 2016, I got two 4K monitors with it, and like generally, like I don't really see the difference between like the 1080p laptop and my monitors, and I really don't care if things are in 4K. So I think that like I'm not gonna miss it if I think $300 for like that console. I depends on what the PlayStation pricing is gonna be, but I think it's like it's I mean it's gonna be £249 in the UK. So I mean,
Have they actually stated that?
yeah, it's £249 UK and £499 for the Xbox X. So I got that from Eurogamer, but I mean like it's still expensive, but it's not like insanely crazy. I think that if you were to like buy your kids a console, depends what the PlayStation comes out with, but I don't really see them doing their digital version, which is pretty much the same as their disc version. I don't see them doing that for $299 or $249. If they do
No,
that,
but at the same time, are you just basically buying an Xbox 360? Yeah, I know I've skipped the Xbox One, but are you just basically buying a 360 to facilitate what people want? I mean, it's like I think the problem here is there's no supporting information. This is what a game looks like on the SS, and this is what the same game looks like on the SX. We've got none of that information, which realistically, to me, really is the driving point to whether or not it's worth it. But then the next piece of information, which I don't know about any of our listeners, or feel free to leave a comment below. But the big thing for me when it comes to consoles is the game made for the console, right? I don't play first person. Like, I feel that the Xbox console, the Xbox platform, really caters to first person shooters more than anything else, with the side tackle of third person action games, right? So like I wouldn't count. I would count. Actually, yeah, no, just shooters versus action games. Assassin's Creed, action game. Warframe, shooter. Yeah, so that's the distinction that I'm trying to make here. I really feel that the Xbox is there to cater to the shooters, not the action games, whereas the PlayStation, they cater heavily towards the RPGs and the action games,
Mm-hmm.
right? Shooters, sorry, I try to pick up my mouse. I want to play with a mouse. I want to play
Yeah.
with a mouse and keyboard. I want to play, and then you have the whole like, oh, check out our fancy graphics with the PlayStation 4. Oh, sorry, 5, sorry.
5.
It's so amazing and pretty, and then Nvidia just comes along and is like 3080.
Oh yeah, dude. Nvidia just dude, that
They own
that
that
was
shit.
really good. That being said, I like if I at some point get enough money for this side project thing, which I would love to do, is I would love to build a like home theater PC and figure out
Yeah.
like whether I can make one perfect, because so far I haven't been able to figure that out. So like, what do I want from like a home theater PC? Because I think if you can figure this out, then like what do you need a console for? Kind of what I would like. And like if you have ideas for builds, like let me know, because I'm kind of interested. What I would want is I would want to have like a computer which is kind of small, like kind of like Xbox size, actually smaller, like Wii size sort of thing. Like it doesn't, like I don't need it to be super big. It doesn't need to be like super mini, but like just put it clean next to a TV. I want it to be, I don't want it to be on all the time. I want it to be like, like but I do want to be able to pick up a remote or pick up a controller, and then turn it on with the thing right there. I don't want to like walk up to the PC and turn it on, because like one of the really nice things from a console is like you can sit on the couch, TV can be on the other side of on the thing, and you can just pick up your controller and can turn it on. There you go. So that needs to be a thing. And one thing which I would also really like is that there is a way to get into the PC and then operate it from like the couch distance, so like you don't have to like use your mouse and like go into like the little menus and then type things out. And like it needs to be a way in which you can like operate Netflix, operate Steam. I mean, Steam has big picture mode, but then you gotta like have an easy way of like turning that on. If you can find a way in which you can like chill and like on your couch sitting far away from your monitor and still operate it in like a meaningful way without having to like walk over it every time, then that would be a really nice thing. Because that's one thing which I think consoles still do very, very well, in that like you can just sit down, turn on the controller, the thing turns on, and you can just control it from your couch. And I haven't really been able to do that with my games, also because I don't have like wireless hardware. But at the same time, I'm also kind of like sitting like, if I go too far away from certain PC games, I'm like, yeah, I can't really read it. Let me sit closer. So yeah.
Have you not heard of one of these?
The Steam Links.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know about
It does
them.
everything you are literally asking for.
But the thing that I have, like do they also turn on the PC and turn it like off? Because
You can wake on LAN the PC, yeah. But why?
Ooh.
Why? No, you just have one PC. You just have your PC.
yeah, but
Right?
I turn my PC off at night, and I know you don't.
But
yeah, if Wake on LAN works, then that's pretty sweet.
but Wake on LAN has been this really old thing for like the longest time. This is actually surprisingly heavy. But yeah, I mean, like the Steam Link is absolutely freaking phenomenal. Like the only thing is, don't do wireless, do wired.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No,
Because
wired is 100% the best way to go. Also, like Nvidia, if you like for up a build, like budget, I mean, like just be sensible. Like if you want to throw up a build or something, like be sensible with it. So it's not like money doesn't play a role, but like it's a side project, so it's like kind of like a thing where like if I get enough money, I'll just buy it, and like then it's like whether it's like $500, $800, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, like that's kind of like depends on like what I'm gonna get out of it. But like I don't want to say money doesn't play a role, because then you're like, oh yeah, it's a $15,000, $20,000 system. You're just gonna have to buy a $50,000 Mac. It's like no, but like there's not like just if you have ideas, just like throw them around, because I generally think that the main reason why people are going to go for consoles is the ease of use. Because other than that they're just plug and play. Like, what are the advantages of? Because you got to pay for the internet, you can't put anything else on it, you can only play the games on it. Like, yeah,
tell that to the early versions of the PlayStation 3, where people were putting Linux on it and treating it as server farms. But like seriously, like in terms of in terms of playing stuff, I strongly recommend the Steam Link. If you've already got a gaming PC, get a Steam Link, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they don't make them anymore, so you'd probably have to get something like a Raspberry Pi with the Steam Link software, and if you want to like watch videos and things like that, just get a Chromecast, right? And Plex, right? Plex is a media server that you run on your PC, and
Mm-hmm.
you can just watch stuff from that. It's the equivalent of like Netflix and stuff, but personal. So you put your own stuff on there. Fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably put money towards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I mean, there are resources out there. You don't need more than one gaming PC, like
No.
that. You're better off putting all the money into one machine.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's more like right now TV goes through internet here. So basically, like your TV is just like a little like setup box that or like an Ethernet cable goes into. And if you just look at that, you're like thinking like, well, I'm paying for TV. Like, couldn't I just make that a computer? And then like that would also replace like a console that you would play, but that you would place there. And then
Yeah.
like you start thinking because like another thing about the Plex server, which is a really good one. Last week, internet like we lost internet for 22 hours because a cable in like an external place just got loose and they had to fix that remotely. So that took like a day. We had there's no internet for an entire day. So that meant no phone, no computer, and no TV. So we
Why
had
no
to.
phone?
Yeah, because like our phone, like our internet goes for our phone line. So like our phone line also didn't work. Mobile phones did, but like landlines didn't.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant no mobile phone.
No,
Sorry, my
no
bad.
landlines. So like we had to resort to like watching DVDs, which thank God we still had like a DVD player. But that's one thing with a Plex server. It's for sure. Like the internet's rather stable, but if it isn't there, like you're gonna have it. And even if the internet is there, at least you're always gonna have high quality because if you're streaming it from like a local network, you can stream 1080 4K if you want to
Yeah.
quite easily. Whereas with Netflix, like you don't know. Depends on like your internet connection.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm totally behind what you're saying here. You can't guarantee an internet connection
Mm-hmm.
at all times. I remember when I moved to my last place, not to this place, but to my last place. I didn't have an internet connection for like a month, and I was slowly going insane. I piggybacked off my phone. I tethered my phone to my PC, burnt through my entire data plan in just a couple of days, and this is where I played more Dead Cells than the universe. And what was and I just watched DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
Like just watched massive amounts of DVDs. I will say, like when I was living a few places ago, I used to live with someone, and he had this 20-meter HDMI cable.
Ooh.
It was massive. It was thicker than anything. And he made such a mess when he removed it, because like he basically taped the whole thing down. It looked horrendous, right? At least it was out of the way, but like he tore up some of the the throughways for doors and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was absolutely mental. But yeah, seriously, things like a Steam Link or a Chromecast. Chromecasts are amazing, especially the 4K Ultra, which is their most recent model. I bought one the other week. Again, absolutely fantastic, and does 4K, does 60 FPS. That's what the standard Chromecasts can't do. But if you've already got a gaming PC, there's no point in having a second one.
Mm-hmm. No, I can see that. But I think that if you can figure out, I mean, like a Steam Link like that definitely works if you have a PC already. But if you can figure out a decently priced, small form factor PC solution that you can just place next to your TV as a setup box, and you can tell people about like Plex, and I think that like it could be a pretty mainstream thing that you could even recommend to people that don't necessarily have a gaming PC. But there's just like a couple of things which like number one has to be small. Number two, you're gonna have to be able to like access the interface. Like you're gonna have to be able to read the interface and work with it from your couch, which is often like a few meters away. You're gonna have to be able to wake it up remotely, so you don't have to like walk over there every time. And I think another important thing is like input, because like with controllers, I don't have a controller on me right now. Like you can do like the input thing, like type, but like our keyboard would be nicer. But then again, I've also seen these wireless keyboards and mouse where you just sit with, and they just look so uncomfortable because like this entire like big table ass thing, like they're this big, and you just like put them on your lap, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gaming. It's like it doesn't really work that way. So like if you can figure out those 4 things or something in a package, which is like I don't know what kind of price you put on there. I don't know what kind of price people would pay for that. But like between $300, between $300 and $500, if you could sell like a PC that also like a TV PC that takes care of all your TV needs, but also is a PC, like I think it'd be pretty neat. But then again,
I
like,
don't
aren't you building a console at that point?
I don't think you could get it for that lower price.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to remember with consoles, they make the majority of their money back through the games,
Mm-hmm.
and they sell the consoles at a loss, right?
Yeah.
So you can't build a form factor at a loss.
No.
Like it just doesn't work. Anyway,
No. That's true.
I've really got nothing else to say.
No, I was ready for you to move on to the final
Yeah.
topic with Nintendo.
Cool. Okay, so last week during the Super Smash Bros 35th anniversary Nintendo Direct event on September 3rd, the last reveal of the event was a bundle package of the early 3D Mario's adventures, like the 3D Mario games. This package includes Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. The 3 games have been optimized to run on the Switch. Both increased resolutions and wider screen formats, plus the inclusion of the soundtracks to play on an included music player. In a strange move, this bundle is only available for in a limited format. The physical copies of the bundle will only be a limited run. It's unclear to how limited, while the digital version of the game will only be available between the release dates of the 18th of September and the end of March 2021, approximately 6 months. The Direct event specified this time limit in the voiceover, which is important because the separate official trailer for the bundle does not. And Nintendo has confirmed that the limited time with a tweet stating the sale of the game only runs until the 31st of March 2021. Interesting, the official page of the game itself only specifies that it's a limited timed release, not the end date. This limited time release that ends on March 31st, 2021 is also shared with another game announced during the Direct event, Super Smash Bros 35, a battle royale style game, much like the battle royale Tetris game.
Okay.
So the fuck? Why okay, I get making the physical edition limited in stock and sale, but why would you do that for the downloadable version?
Nintendo has always been really, really shit with their bringing back old things thing and celebrating anniversaries. So, remember on the Wii? I don't know if you remember. Like on the Wii, you have this channel where you could buy like old games from like the Wii shop.
I know nothing of this. Explain with detail.
Okay, so like basically, you had the Wii was like one of their most successful consoles, and it was a very good emulator. Like you could run pretty much anything on there, which Nintendo made previously. So what they did is they created the Wii Shop channel. You could go on there, you could spend actual money to like get Wii bucks, which you could then spend on like the games, and then those would be like old games, and like you could get those back. You could play them on the Wii, which was pretty sweet. However, then Nintendo disconnected the Nintendo Internet Wi-Fi or something. They disconnected the Nintendo Wii servers. So right now, the Windows Shop, the Wii Shop, the Wii Shop is also discontinued. So basically, you can no longer download or access any of the games which you've bought on the Wii. So if you have a Wii on which you've downloaded these old games which you bought online, well, like don't delete them because you're never going to be able to get them back. So like that is a bit like how Nintendo kind of goes about with like re-releasing old games. Like they don't really do it, and if they do it, it's kind of in a way where it's like, oh yeah, you can have access to this. Oh no, not anymore. Well, that kind of
Can
sucks.
I stop you
Mm-hmm.
there? Because I feel you're not doing yourself justice. This is in the same with Microsoft and I'm going to say to a lesser extent PlayStation. When the Xbox 360 moved over to make space for the Xbox One, when the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360 servers went, again, you couldn't download your old Xbox 360 games. So I don't see a direct comparison with the fact that if the servers go away, the games go away. That makes sense. But
I
in
think you
this
can still
instance, the
download
servers
360s. The original Xbox doesn't work anymore, but that their downloadable games I think weren't a big thing, and I think 360 still works.
pretty sure the 360 games have gone like that they went absolutely ages ago because you cannot get your Xbox Live. If you transfer from an Xbox 360 to an Xbox One live account, you cannot log in to your 360 using your old or your currently existing account because it was the big reason why I couldn't get back into my 360 because I
Like,
accidentally hit okay, I'll upgrade, and then as a result, I've never been able to log back into my
yeah.
360.
Anyway,
Uh,
putting that aside, putting the 360 aside, um,
sure.
looking at this, it's like, I can see how they would go about saying, oh yeah, we just make it like a limited, like where it's a limited time release and a physical sale. So what they're also doing for a digital sale, but then again, like what does an extra digital sale cost? And like honestly, these games, like how cool would it be to play these games on the Switch? Like why would you not why would they not want people to buy these games on the Switch? Like what is their problem if people buy it like afterwards? I don't see it.
Like it just screams to me that they are trying to induce scarcity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, if you're thinking, because I know that we've already hinted that, or been hinted that the uh sorry, reading what Tribal said. I used to jump between the Xbox One, Destiny Raid. Okay, fair enough. Moving back to this, what was I saying? Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to force scarcity to make people potentially panic buy. I know someone that's like, oh no, I need to pick this up because it's going to disappear. And I know again a lot of people that prefer to have physical copies of a game rather than digital copy. I wanted a physical copy of Dead Cells, but I couldn't get one. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up going through the download store, but it's not like, oh, the physical release of Dead Cells is gone, therefore the digital release of Dead Cells is also gone. Like I can still
Yeah, I
get it
like
digitally, so it doesn't make sense.
the digital thing is weird because like I don't have a problem with them like doing a limited release of like the 35th anniversary thing of like the
Yeah,
physical things because like that's Nintendo. Like Nintendo is also the company that does like limited runs of like they like the ambios, the amiibo things. Like the amiibos were
yeah.
so shorted, that was such a shortage of them that they shot up in value so much, and they just profited off that so well. I think also with Switches and stuff, like they often do that with their hardware where they kind of like don't produce enough so that people there will always be some sort of scarcity. And like there is also a lot of like Nintendo collectors where people collect shit from Nintendo and they go to special stores to get it and like get the like yeah, I mean like it's a thing. And like these are after all like re-release games, so it's not like you're like they're saying, oh, there's a brand new Mario game, you can only get it between this window and then you can never get it again. But then again, it is on the Switch. Like playing Super Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy on the Switch is pretty neat. But yeah, it's like the digital release is weird. I'd have like and then ending up on like the 31st towards like a battle royale thing. Like what's going on there?
Well, I mean, I get the idea of the battle it's like oh, we're shutting down the battle royale
Hmm.
because they have to host it on servers, so on and so forth, and it's a free game, right?
The
But
battle royale or the
the
35?
battle royale,
Oh, the
the
battle
battle
royale.
royale. So if you have an active Switch online subscription, you'll be able to play the battle royale for free.
Oh yeah,
But
I love that.
come the 31st of March 2021, they're shutting those servers down. Fair enough, but it just doesn't make sense why the digital sale of the Super Mario 3D All Stars is also going away.
Who knows? Maybe it has to do with like the Switch Pro that you hinted at earlier. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be Switch Pro. It's gonna be like a new online platform because like they've done that with every single previous release. Like, oh yeah, we're shutting this one down in like a year. So yeah, get it on like the new platform thing. I don't know. It's it's weird. Like I mean, they're probably gonna. It's probably just like a limited time release thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make more money if we sell this as a limited time thing, and because like a 35th anniversary edition. I can also kind of say that you don't want to continue to sell a 35th anniversary edition forever, kind of thing, because like I don't know, it's weird because
To
like
me,
yeah,
my biggest concern is that if people will accept a lot of shit,
mm-hmm.
right? So I remember the one game that drove up the sale price of video games from 30 pounds to 45 pounds was Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said this before. And when people start accepting a new way of doing things, then it becomes the new norm, right?
Yeah,
So people go, oh, it's not a problem for them to do a limited timed release of Super Mario 3D All Stars. Sorry, it's just such a mouthful of a name. You know, it's not a problem because I'll buy it within that 6-month window. Well, then what's the next game that will have a 6-month window? Will it be
mm-hmm.
Call of Duty Super Duper Black Ops Ghosty Man Edition?
Mm-hmm.
Or will it be Warcraft 4? Or will it be a game I actually care about?
Yeah,
You know, so it's where setting a negative precedent is a bad thing. And this is the sort of shit that I really feel people like. I just seen several Tribal say Half-Life 3. Yeah, Half-Life
dude.
3 available for 1 day.
Oh man, like they gotta do it for like 15 minutes or something. Just be like,
Yeah.
guys, it's out now. And we're gonna like delete it off the stores in like 15 minutes. Buy it now, dude. That'd be like I wouldn't even fault them for that. Actually, like one thing that I'm thinking about is like how many anniversaries as Nintendo had. Like I think that last anniversary was like 5 years ago or something. I don't know, but like Nintendo isn't the fastest in the uptake of online things. Like they're really bad with their online shit.
Yeah.
So it could also just be like you're saying it's like a negative thing, but I feel like yes, it could be, but it's also like let's say that their last anniversary they didn't even do digital stuff because they're shit at it. They only had a physical release. Maybe it's their first time trying things with digital release, and they're like, well, normally we would we would produce our physical anniversary things for 6 months and then not produce them anymore. And then we also would not sell them anymore because, like, at a certain point, you cannot buy the physical discs anymore, or the physical games anymore, because then you're gonna have to buy them as like secondhand things. Like, you can't buy them from Nintendo anymore. You can't buy them from retailers anymore because they don't get made anymore. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do the same thing with digital, but then we're just gonna shut it down because like this is the first time they're doing it digital, and they're really shit with doing online shit because they're Nintendo. That could also be the case. Then again, I mean, like it's a big company, like it's like they can't be that stupid, but they still use friend codes and playing online in Pokemon on Nintendo is like also a pain and a half. So like sometimes they are that stupid. So like I can see where you're coming from, but it could also just be that they really don't know how to handle this shit.
So I don't know if you're aware of this because, like, have you ever heard of the term Web 2.0?
A little bit. If you would explain it, I would probably recall it again. But it's been like a long time.
So the big part of Web 2.0 is to bring websites into the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of websites were these horrible, big, clunky things. So if you want to like a tour through some websites, like I'm pretty sure if oh god, Storyfire. right? That's a brilliant example of how this website is not a Web 2.0 website. Yeah. So, assuming that it's going to appear on
Yeah.
the screen in a moment, one thing I will say is you'll find that the entire content is funneled down this really thin column in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Right. It's not this fully fleshed out website like if you were to go to what's with the zooming stuff going on?
It's because like I'm always zoomed in a little bit, so like I zoomed it out so like you can see like kind of how it is, because like if we're zoomed in like normal, that looks like this, and then you don't see that's like in the middle, but it is like in the middle. Basically, what you
Yeah.
have is like if you open it up, it kind of looks like YouTube, as though YouTube would have like they have their banner up top and then like videos down below, but like if you ever actually scroll down, like there's nothing below there. It's just that thing, and then
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of empty space and like a sidebar to the
Yeah.
left. So
So a lot of Web 1.0, which is the nickname, a lot of Web 1.0 websites, they have a lot of dead space, right?
mhm.
Whereas if you were to go to, let's say, Google, sorry, and you feel like overloaded, what's going on here? So you've got 2 rows of videos, you've got a banner, and then you've got these popular creators, and you're kind of wondering what the hell you're experiencing. If you go to google.com, just go to Google, right, and bring that up and show all the lovely ones, you'll see that it's really slick and elegant, right? It's there's no mess, there's no fuss. It's
Or like
here's the
YouTube.
search bar. Yeah. YouTube Home, not the subscriptions tab.
No, like
Because
this
the
is home.
YouTube. Yeah. Well, I'm still behind you. So,
Yeah.
but the subscription tab is still similar to Storyfire. They've not put any resources into it, but
Mhm.
the home is again a lot better because it fills the space out properly. You can collapse the sidebar, so on and so forth. I'm sure the Apple Store will be the similar. Yahoo, I'm pretty sure, will be like old and clunky. This now, my whole point. Apologies, everyone, for the roundabout way of getting to this point. A lot of Japanese websites are
Mhm.
still Web 1.0, even today, right? A
Mhm.
lot of them have this. They don't think
Here, this
user
is
experience
Yahoo right
first.
here. Like yeah, this is
Which
yeah
Yahoo.co.uk or Yahoo
Yahoo.com.
Japan?
I mean, we could go to
Yahoo.com.
Yahoo Japan, but .com also just like doesn't look as clean as Google.
Yeah, it's huge and full of just crap. All right, I'm pretty sure Yahoo Japan is another things like .co.jp. So yeah, it's like it's just right, and this honestly is the mentality that is the driving factor behind a lot of Japanese video games.
Oh
Horrible user
yeah,
experience. Yeah, their
that is
menus are.
the slide down
Yeah,
thing.
there you go. There you go. Welcome to Web 1.0, right? Like, you can instantly feel the 90s just
Mhm.
ooze off of this already, right?
So like what you have is just like a bunch of boxes, like rectangles, and it's like all down the middle, and you have just all
Yeah,
sort of like hyperlinked things where you can click on. It's just like pieces of text or like small
yeah,
images. I mean, like if you've been on the internet like in the last 10, 20 years, you've seen this before.
yeah.
But yeah, it
Dead
doesn't look like it's
Space.
out of today.
So much to this.
But yeah,
Right.
Japan is pretty much in this
So,
time still where they
so
do.
they don't worry too much about user experience.
Hmm.
Whereas in the West, Web 2.0 has been this huge driving factor of making things simple, making things easy, so people just fall into it rather than just go like, I feel stupid. I'm not gonna not, And again, Nintendo have not been keeping up with the whole user experience of buying stuff. Like, I think the Switch has been the first console where getting on the internet wasn't as taxing as anything else.
Actually, you
One
can't
of the
get on
things.
the internet with Switch. Like, there's no browser in it.
No. I
Switch,
mean, actually
yeah.
getting on the network.
Oh yeah, on getting on the network. Yeah, like that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like significantly better. Whereas before on things like the Wii and the DS, it was just like, oh my god, what is this clunky shit?
Hmm.
And yeah, as you say, there's no browser and things like that because they're trying to keep it safe and everything, and I totally get that. But it's so I am not surprised that this bad mentality for digital deliverables is potentially there in Nintendo. But what I don't want to see happen is Microsoft, Sony, Square Enix, Disney, Amazon, whoever, right? Riot, Steam. Oh God, Epic Game Store. I don't want to see them go, if Nintendo can do this, we should do it.
Hmm.
Right? And that's the thing. That's the huge driving factor behind my concern is that this will heavily influence other people.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I mean, like I've had the same thing when it came with like headphone jacks and phones. It's like I hate phones that don't have headphone jacks. I just instantly throw them out of the running because I just love my wired headphones. And like they were all doing away with it because they can. And so like all these phones are getting
Yeah.
over $1,000 because they can. And it's like,
Yeah.
great. Well, enjoy.
Screw that noise.
Yep. But yeah, I think that is that for that topic. Unless you wanted to add more, but I think that we've kind of actually no, I do have a special topic. That's where we're talking about price. Actually, the price has just been revealed of the PlayStation 5. Guys, I'm not kidding.
Really, just now.
I actually just have an article right here from GameSpot, so let's go over to it right now. Here you can see the pricing for the PS5. Pre-order start on Thursday, the 10th of September.
This is gonna be a meme.
We have the price is £7,999 for a 24-karat gold digital PS5. It is £8,099 for a 18-karat rose gold digital PS5, and £8,199 for a platinum digital PS5. If you want to play discs on your gold PS5, you can go for an you got to pay $100 extra. So that will for a platinum disc PS5, you get up to you have to pay $8,299. And if you want to buy a controller, that is £650, or a PS5 headset in gold, of course, that's £400. So you can choose. Do you want to buy an entire Xbox X, or do you want to buy a PS5 headset with?
Wait,
gold
are you
on it?
being serious?
Yeah, this is actually like legit.
Shit, I thought you were being completely unserious until I just looked up at the stream. What the? Sorry, I have to do a 180 on this. Like, I have to do a retake.
Yeah.
24 karat gold, $8,000.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I mean, your PS4 will look slick as fuck for like the first year, and then they release a new updated model, and this will look old. But I mean, it will still have some gold plated on it. But like how much gold is there really in it? I don't know.
But okay. So first off, I cannot believe for an instant that is pure gold.
No.
That's gonna be gold coated, gold plated at most.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So here's the article. It says $10,000 gold PS5 pre-orders are opening soon. If you're looking to play in true style and you have $10,000 laying around, you can pre-order a 24-karat PS5 starting Thursday. So, yeah, it's a thing.
I've got to be honest. I'm actually quite disgusted. Like it might be extreme, but my biggest concern of anything. How the fuck did you find this? I can't see this reported anywhere.
So I'll link the thing to you in Discord. But SoFox just came into the stream and said, like, did you guys see about the 10K thing, the 10K PS5? So I just looked it up and I just found the GameSpot article that linked to the tweet, and it seems all pretty legit. Because there is literally people there are a lot of people, or like, and I wouldn't say a lot of people, there are people, or especially kids who've grown up in families where there's like a lot of like old money or like oil money, or like there's a lot of money where like money doesn't really have that much value as it has to like general people. So like they'll just drop it on this because I mean it's gold, and then like it's a newest thing, and like it looks pretty sleek, and so and that sort of thing, and they just don't mind. I would like I was listening to like a stream today of someone that like hosted Minecraft servers back in the day, and they said that they made like in total like they earned about 110K of hosting Minecraft servers, but profit was like around 60 to 50K because like it costs a lot to maintain these things and like deal with doxing and such. But like a lot of that money just came from people, like you could buy ranks within that Minecraft server, and a lot of it would just be like kids with like rich parents that would just come in and like buy everyone like $50 ranks, like, hey, who wants to have a rank, and like just buy that because they didn't have any sensation of money because they're like, we have so much. And I can definitely say like if you just want to go for the prestige and like your PS4 Pro is not pro enough, not prestige enough, well, an $8,300 thing.
What was the cheapest one?
The cheapest one is £8,000 or
No,
seven.
no, 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 no. The cheapest PlayStation 5.
We don't know yet. We only know about like the gold ones, as far as I can tell.
What? Oh my fucking god! I am. Do you remember what I was talking about? Setting a precedent.
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell! That's just completely taking the wind out of my sails.
Oh man.
I don't even think my entire collection comes to $8,000.
Actually, I'd buy it if I had the money for it. I'd buy it, and then I'd start a YouTube channel where like I do it on this channel where I just have the 24 karat gold PS5 with platinum plated gold PS5 in the background, and I'd start making videos ranting about games starting to cost $70. Be like, how dare you, EA, make your game $70. Do you think I have money for that? With like that gold PS5 in the background, do you think I have money for that? Do you think I can spend?
Do you know what I would do? Right, I would create a YouTube channel and then, like, say, right, when we hit 1 million subscribers, I'm giving it away.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Actually, like there are some leaks, but like I don't know how confirmed this is, but some leaks say right here in the article that the PS5 will probably cost $499, and the PS5 digital edition would cost $100 less, which would be $399. So like we don't know entirely yet, but like those are things which are being rumored. If that would be the case, then like the PS5 general would be just the same as the Xbox, but then the Xbox Lite version, the digital version, would be $100 cheaper than the PS5, which would be interesting.
So Nvidia says like a metal console would be annoying though. Think of all the fingerprints and dust. Yes, but if it's true gold or platinum, that shit don't tarnish, right? Because it doesn't react with anything. That's why the metals are like, well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's artificial inflation, but that's why the metals don't tarnish. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, like at least you would kind of like retain value of the gold if there's like gold in there, like enough gold in there. You'd be like, if the stock market crashes, you still have gold and you can sell it for money.
It's gonna be so totally gold plated, like at most. It's just gonna be a cover. It's not gonna be fucking pure gold.
Dude, like remember all these like accessories like 10 years ago where like you had USB devices or like audio devices where they're like, it's gold plated connectors for great connection, and it was just like,
oh god. Yeah. Also, do you know that gold is really malleable?
Is it? I mean, like I've never touched it, so like I don't know.
Yeah, no. So it's okay. So in a brick, it's tough, but if you've got some really thin sheet of gold, it's more it's less durable than something like iron or whatever like that. Well, probably say steel. Like you quite readily bend a sheet of gold compared to like a sheet of iron, right? So I mean, you've seen people bend iron bars on like go YouTube, just go like man bending iron bar, like the videos are dime a dozen, right? But like gold is more malleable than that, if I remember my chemistry correctly.
Actually, like I can't find anything crazy, but whatever. Like it's It's quite funny that this thing is already out before like the pricing for the regular PS5 is out. But hey, if you want to pay big boy money, you get early stuff. I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Wait, so did this company partner with Sony to make this thing, or are they gonna buy it off the market and modify it? I think it will probably be a modification thing. Let's see. The website is called trulyexquisite.co.uk.
Oh, so it's not actually Sony that's doing it.
No.
Oh,
The long-awaited.
clearly a rip-off.
So pre-order start tomorrow. 18 hours more to go. The pieces will be limited edition with only 250 pieces made per model / finish. The price includes one PS5 console and 2 DualSense controller and 1 3D Pulse headset. The PlayStation 5 will be presented in a luxury wooden display box and with free worldwide shipping and insurance. So like I think they're
fucking hope it'd be free.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be they're gonna buy them up, and then like I mean like these are companies. I think here you also see that do iPhones. Like there's a lot of companies that will just like buy iPhones and like things and then throw gold on them and then sell them. So like it's not an unusual thing in the tech world, but I've not seen it done before that like this with PlayStations. So anyway, I think that is it for the Framecast this week. If you guys have any questions, you can like quickly leave them down below, but most likely, like, actually, let's do it this way. If you have any questions, throw them in, like, during the stream. If you're watching this live, throw them in the chat so that we can get to them, or put them just, like, in Discord or in, like, the comments below, because that will make it easier to, like, get to. But anyway, anyway, I think that's it for this Framecast. Yeah, thank you so much for watching episode 54. Drew, I hope you enjoyed.
I did.
Hell yeah. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this as well. Whether you were listening to this like live or whether you're listening to this on YouTube or wherever. We appreciate you listening. Check out Xeno at youtube.com/XenoGillion. And like watch it live at watch it tomorrow at youtube.com/PostmaLonesGames on like the YouTube thing. Or check it out live at twitch.tv/Postma every Tuesday, except for this week. We did it on Wednesday. Yeah. So also videos coming soon on the YouTube channel again. I'm trying to like actually do something about content and not be struck down by the heat wave or be on vacation where I can do nothing on my content, and just like I'm gonna upgrade it now, so like something's gonna change. So no videos for a while, but they're gonna be coming back soon. That's it. Do you have anything more that you want to edit or add to it?
I need a pee.
What was that?
I need a pee.
That's the way we're ending these episodes now.
You give me the opportunity to say something. I'm like, I'm gonna end it on a note.